All right, let's get into the Bertha storm and the biohacker cloning himself, Brian Johnson, and the JD Vance showing the fourth baby, and another water main break flooding in the West Hollywood. This is part of those water breaks for the birth and such, and we're in that 15th week as far as they're coming in the 16th week as far as the Artemis 2 mission. The abortions can go up to like the 21st week or whatever it is. And then if it's a retard or whatever else, you might need to opt to do it a little bit later. So we see things going forwards and backwards in different ways. The OpenAI, it hacked into some things. At the same time, this biohacker's talking about some stuff. The Brian is the brain. And then also before he started cloning himself, he's talking about how the stomach and the immune system is starting this for the eating itself, and that's the big beautiful pill dill, all that kind of thing. And all those people are taking the pills and they're playing the pickleball for the dill pickles and all that stuff. So the dill weeds and the data collection centers, that's part of the closet light and well, we'll get into that in another one. The China cracks down on the AI girlfriends for the failing birth rates. That's the crackdown, the dark sun, where the moonlight, the cycloptic crapture setting up also as the devil's led you to that Taco Bell, Taco hell. And that Jill talked about the taco a couple years ago or whatever. So either way, so the gas trititis and the Titans, the Tates, the Tatum brothers, that's part of the twin 9/11 on a setting. And then his dad was the Air Force military chess champion 5 times over, and then he won some other chess champions. But this is part of where we're being shown one thing, or the role play, the dice game for the crapture and all those things. We've seen these things, and then role playing is where you're Halloween and the Holloway and the sunset and that kind of water breaking. So the role play and these things where they're setting people up or doing things to set up something to capture or whatever. This is where somebody's doing bad to do good, and the good becomes bad, and all those things that you're told about as far as your revelation. And there's 4 times 7 tribulations in your book of Revelations, and you're coming up on that year 28 on as far as that physical clock on the millennium. So as the baby birth and the Artemis 2 mission, that baby bump, and knowing that your pregnancy there and all those things, and all that would be lining up on one level. And then you also have the abortions being tied into as far as maybe going into the hot tub to try and kill that baby, that hot water, the oiling, the oil, and the bow for the muskrat and the musky smell for the white horse rider, and the bow also ties into the rainbow cloud and all those things as you're given this image of Hitler. And this is where Trump on the White House or whatever says choose wisely between communism versus patriotism, because there is a difference. And patriotism is your communism where you have all this military police or whatever else on every corner. Okay, every nation is built on a community. All right, we all have a sense of so-called communism, but when you look in our world today, we've gone from this type of neighborhood to the HOAs. All right. See something, say something. They left their garage open last night. It was cracked like 6 inches or so. It just makes the neighborhood it's just not uniform. The uniform. So the uniform going into the square and the box. We're gonna get into this on another one, but this is where that cube, that alien ship or whatever kind of thing, the answer is 42, and your Biden is 42, born in 42 or whatever, and that's the flip on the 420 and the 420 elders, and those things we'll get into another video. But this cube, this alien ship, reverse light, all right, the rapture. Hey, It's been an alien cover-up since 47, and you got the 47th president now. So you've all become this, that, and the other because the supernatural people are here too. So the supernatural humans, those are the ones who went back to the old way in a way. And then everybody else keeps going down, down, down. But that's the alien invasion on a flip-flop. We'll go into deeper things on this later. But you got your birth being set up. You got all these things. The Texas quake happens every few decades. Told you the Texas quake during the second coming of Adania. And we got that one. It's popping up a little bit more and more and more as we're going in that little whatever. And you got the air quality being talked about in these 5 states, but we're in that house of mirrors or whatever else. It's where they can tell you this over here, but it's actually over there. And then Iran and the Gulf here, and those kinds of things setting up. And then they, the near Miami, Texas on that quake. And then I told you that they move water. Elon said it's hard to move water. So this is where you got to hit Miami, move the water in the Gulf. You can do the Gulf and the East Coast all at one time, pretty much. Or you hit Miami, Texas, that area, or that the gas lines and those things we've gotten into before. You hit those, pop all the way up 35. We're going to see how like the Grand Canyon or the Big Ben, all those things were kind of built in America as a new heaven and earth is coming, and they've preloaded the ground with the fracking water. Okay, so it's already a sandy loam. So you put that in, you hit it, boom, 1,000 miles. All right, just like I told you, it's coming for the second coming of Adania, and it's here, and it's preloaded where you can just fall down. They tell you about hollow earth and all hollow earth, flat earth, round earth, whatever. It's all different code speak telling you different things, what they're doing. All right, and then from here to there, this hollow tube, and either way, you shall see. So 47, 48, 49, 50, it's all loaded down for you. And they've already talked about the 51, 52. And on a short clock, the Apophis 2029, tying into these things, you're in the 29th month left. All right. And then you're going into month 29. And then to the 2029. All right. It's just some easy clocks for you. And then we've been tracking the 22 to the 26, which is the 22 is the flip on the 25. The 25 on 9/11 this year. So the 22 on that new heaven and earth opening and closing and those things here. And then today and tomorrow is 911 days left. So these are all little clock increments on the second coming. Okay, as you're taking the 47 to the 2027, the 47, which is a 250 crowning, you're going into that day zero. That day zero is the Big Bang and putting all it in, and then boom. All right, and that's going on the world stage as everything is going into the palm of your hand, as heaven is likened to whatever, and then the old heaven and earth is put at the palm of your hand, making a gateway to the new heaven and earth. Okay, and your gateway drug is going to help you out so soon. We will get into the cannabis and the hemp and these things and another breakdown. But the China cracks down on the AI girlfriends, the failing birth rates, the cracks down, full sun or full moon rising. Do that, and then you spread your cheeks apart and get a little cycloptic eye to eye, and that all that kind of thing for your pirate ship. The pirate ship is the peace deal, and all those little things. The Tate brothers, the Twin Towers to the 9/11, 3,119 days, 20 days, give or take the starting date. Tate brother, he's 39, born on 12/1/1986. And you're going to get, when you break it down, you just start getting the 3119 on that with the 86, and the 86 ties into the 8647, and the 8647 ties into different, as far as a clock, people turning 8647, dead or alive, and you got your Nancy Pelosi, who's tied to your Gavin Newsom, tied to the Bush band, as far as the Gavin and the Bush, and that's part of the little matrix and whatever else, how all of these things are built on this time, okay? So this is where it's organic, inorganic, and the real and Israel and all those things all coming together, and it's here to boom, 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 and boom, 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 as that fucking computer and square and box and the box, the Satan man, the Tan man, all these things are built on coming into this whatever thing. Okay, so that's where he's built this world, or this village, and this village has gone upon the world, this world empire, this one world religion, the cell phone, all these things, commerce and whatever, it's all going in there, and then he's coming in to take control of it on this level because it's become corrupt, and we got to redo things and whatever else. This is where in capitalism capitalism and communism is always going to be here in a way, the community and however it's going into there, but it's also, that's only there for an energy exchange, and the energy exchange comes into where you have the earth, Genesis 1, and then the Lord God coming in after God rests, and he forms this garden. He brings man in, and finally he gets to Adam, and then from Adam he gets to Eve, and Eve is able to get to access to the knowledge, and they become as God, and then they leave that spectrum, and then they go into the land of Nod. They create a whole new rules, boundaries, and limitations. Adam lives for so many years. That rules, boundaries, and limitations lives for so many years. That's where we're like at this colonial, the colon and whatever, the Sodom and Gomorrah and those things. As you're like going from the left to the right, you got to pass through the asshole. And as the asshole carries you into that prime Mary, that's where people, I can't believe he just said that. The donkeys are fucking mean unless you get them real young, right? So, it's like a guard animal. And as the guard's there and the garden's there, you got to keep the coyotes and the wolves away. You do that with the donkey and the assholes and whatever else coming to the asshole, the crapture setting and whatever else that he told you was coming. Oh, and the come is here. All right. So, as far as that, Canada, United States, and Mexico, and that Spain pain and the pain PA system for the butler and the baker session for that pedos that's been rolled out, and the little, you'll find out where that glaze all started from on that little missing hole in that donut. Okay, so y'all just get ready, dude. Y'all get ready for that bloodbath that Disney is announcing. All right. And then one story, growing up, parents and the whatever, they went to the haunted house, a little too scary for me at the time. Anyways, my mom just comes running out, right? And I'm like, I'm in the car as a kid, like, they go in at different times, so I'm not left alone in the car. Either way, the dude with the chainsaw starts chasing the mom out of the thing or whatever. She's just bloody murder or whatever. But this particular one had this chick giving a bath to a baby and blood and whatever else and some other whatever stuff. So this is where like those seeds, those star seeds given to you, are manifesting in some people. All right. And this is where, like, I've had a client that worked in an apartment or whatever. She went in and she said she's found gallons of urine that people are just like collecting and like just trying. Personal experience, brother went to his apartment one time. He had like 100 pizza boxes just fucking lined up on the wall, old, empty, whatever, just from not taking out the trash. And it's like, one over to his apartment one time, is like, where the fuck am I supposed to sit? So I just like moved over a little thing, just sat a little on the edge of the fucking corner on the bed or whatever. It's like a little efficiency apartment. But anyways, funny shit. But not everybody's had a uncle that fucked his sister, or not everybody's had the uncle that has gotten caught going out into the fucking woods wearing a fucking dress, whatever else. And we always knew about those woods. That's where I also saw a woman doing tricks in a car by this other lake or whatever, and that was at the so-called California Crossings. And then I worked with the first salon I worked in. There was a lady, her name was Cindy, but she used to drive an old beat-up Good Times van. She had a bunch of dudes, bunch of male clients, and she would leave with every fucking one of them, pretty much. All right. So, in that same salon, the dude who was training me, this chick came in, a bunch of the Stars players and Rangers and shit, their wives would go in there, and their girlfriends or whatever. Anyway, she came in just wearing the fucking jersey, right? Anyway, it barely covered her ass cheeks or whatever, but they're in the shampoo room, and he just pulls out her fucking tits, starts sucking all over it. And either way, so not everybody's had like the same fucking work stories. All right, not everybody's worked at the same salons. Not everybody's had the same person training you or whatever. And then the next person I worked under, this dude over here that worked at this salon knew this dude over here that was opening a salon. The dude opening the salon, the two dudes opening them, one of them used to supply the Rangers' wives and the Rangers and such with their blow, right? So he'd tell me about these parties he'd go over, and there'd just be bowls of fucking Coke there and whatever else. And then he also threw a party at the salon for an opening, and each of the rooms was set off. It was before there was like anything in the salon, but it was all finished out. Anyways, as it was all finished out, there was like a room here, room here, room here, and each room people were doing this thing, that thing, or that thing, or whatever. And then also the Heineken. The Asians love the fucking Heineken beer, dude, but it tastes like fucking piss. So this part about drinking piss is good for you, and whatever else is going to come along, or this smells like piss, tastes like piss, and you're drinking piss, and they're telling you you're drinking fake wine, and so got off on a little tangent there. Either way. And then not everybody's been to the strip club, not everybody's been to this dive bar or this the Rose Room in Dallas, or the tranny bars or whatever, where you can go see these shows. So you know there's like the tranny shows, and there's trans, and then there's like different fucking levels, right? And some of these dudes are married with wives and kids, and so it's a stage production, it's a show. And so this is where people are given over to this image in a different way, this square, this box, and whatever, and we got to stay within here, got to stay all wrapped up. Wait for somebody to open us. When they do, wow, we're the fucking crazy shit, you know? So it's all around you. Everybody's all wrapped up. Now they're all fucking getting them all, whatever. So that's part of your wild times, and you just have to fucking come to lockdown. And the pigs and shit have come down, the cops and whatever, going to a roast. That's where you've seen this type of military police and battle bot created on this spectrum, but they've all pretty much taken out that way and whatever. So this boom, 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 and then you have to have this boot as a supplement to fill in that beast system. So the beast, the robots going up and down the roads, buying all this shit, right? Takes some out, some whatever. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. The stronger, and that Jerusalem and all that stuff is all setting up as you have the new Israel, setting up the Azure. I will come and establish the nation of Israel. And y'all bought it hook, line, and sinker. And they even told you, hey, these World War I, World War II movies, these are all propaganda. Well, we're really blowing shit up. This guy doesn't exist, and whatever else is going on. So that's where Tate was a real kickboxer, but all this other shit is not real. Or Trump is a real businessman or whatever, but he's not this or whatever. And the Don's light, and he'd do all these things, and it's boom, boom, boom. And then he has how many wives and kids and whatever else, all divided up into different lights. And then you have the slow oven, the Slovenia, the Melania, and all that stuff. And she's 56, the 11. So these markers coming on for your little daylight clock sessions as the 11, the 12, and all that ties into your 47, 48, 49, on whatever else. So these are those little circles in life that people live. And so while everything is at random, in a way, everything is pre-programmed. That's where you see, like, in the industry, the boom, boom, ba-boom, you see patterns of darkness and light through the people, such as you have your breakfast rush, your lunch rush, your dinner rush, and then lunch/dinner is the same thing, right? So then you get your supper or your sub pair, and this is where you have the overlays as far as these two clocks have been tracking, and boom, 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 boom. And that's where you get your leap year and all those things working in, and the 28 to the 29, 30, 31, and your clocks and your 365 calendar, the 9/11 calendar. Either way, folks, the baby stuff and the Taco Bell, he rang the bell, the devil's lettuce, the cannabis, the lettuce, the iceberg, to Titanic, the Titanic, that would all be tying in together different ways. The Meta 1.2 billion temple data center, rebuilding of the temple, the bridegroom situation, the Wi-Fi and the data, that coming together. And then that will put on a darkness as the firmament sets, as the water of life and all those things are needed here, but they've been storing it wherever. Eventually you got to change the energy exchange system and the balance or whatever. So that's where we're kind of all at with these things, and where one baby is coming in, one baby's being pushed out, and whatever else. Or they're like trying to put the baby back into the petri dish. That's kind of where we're at with the biohacker, and the Brain Johnson, and the Brain takes you into the DC Comics on that level. The Johnson & Johnson takes us back to the Gadzooks, the Georgie Washington and the AD, After Dawn, and the Zookeepers, and the K for the 11 over. The K shot that they give you from night one. Sam Wakai. That RGB. And that Beehive. That's where you don't want to be the RGB or the CMYK. You want to be the prince of the power of the press. You know what I mean? Who's taking in both the colors. Who can do all things. You just can't print in this shitty brown where you get the true black and the true white, which is not even part of the fucking color system. Okay, so that's where you get the light and the dark coming in, and then it creates the foundation of the world and these things that we're told about, and then you get the levels of light after. Bloodbath Disney, layoffs, movie giant being gutted, right? Then you see the Game of Thrones dragon in the sky flying over whatever for a couple days and make you think it's a real dragon. So it's all these little things coming on, and the dragon overlays. They've been tracking, and then it measures the 23 moving parts, 23, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, to the 28, Z28, 28 Spanish alphabet, or the Spain-ish alphabet, and that's Spain. Won that alphabet on the sucker balls. The sucker balls and the Zuckerberg and all those things are going together. And he's probably just some little peeping Tom who created Facebook so he can look into fucking girls' sorority rooms for that little MJ session. And the MJ ties into the Michael J. Fox and the Michael Jackson, and then the MJ is the grandma on Kim K that just died on the same day or whatever was being reported as her bodyguard. The Whitney Houston. All right, the Houston is tied into that triangle on that TX. The Houston is the Joe, the H is the J, or the Joe, us, the United States, the Tates, and the T on, and the Tauntaun for your Ice Age planet of Hoth. And okay, folks, so we can just connect it all so you can understand these little easy parables as the star seeds have been laid and they have manifested within us. So great times, people. The Cyrax, the Glasgow. The Glasgow ties into the ice, the methamphetamines, the Methuselah, that methane, that slow burning, whatever. Meth use ties into your ADHD that you're giving all your kids. And this is where everything is boom, boom, boom. And it's all being set up within us as we're the third temple. And they're telling you this third temple. But all this is where you're going to need this shit if you're going to keep going. Because you've all been told you're going to fucking burn forever, right? And that fat is that good sizzler, the sizzler, right? And that hook, line, and sinker's being set up as the fisher of man is on there with those poles. Those poles is this blue and red, right? And the magnets either push together or they pull apart, right? So they never see the light of day again. And that's magnetics, the imaga, the image of God, right? What's y'all's ages? What's your ages? Ages, Ghislaine, okay? And you see these about 18 to 34, 34 to whatever, 48, 40, okay? You see all these little boom, boom, boom. That's part of this fucking box that you're taking into. As the rebuilding of the temple is here. And you've been given over to the dark light Satan, and he's just running amok.